This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy that you're here. Although we will be meandering down a Buddhist path today, Unitarian Universalism is an expansive, inclusive religion in which all spiritual paths, or none, are honored. Whether you bring your best self or your struggling self, know that you are loved and welcome here. Whether you bring an open heart or a bruised and hurting heart, know that your heart is welcome here. No matter your background, your family structure, your spiritual path, your identity, or whom you love, you are welcome here. And as always, a special welcome to our guests. And if you haven't already, please sign the guest book before you leave. My name is Beth Sperry, and I'm here representing the Three Jewels Sangha of our fellowship, which meets on Wednesday evening. And with me today is my friend Anna Rudnitsky. Yes. Anna's a member of the Sangha. She works at the Center for the Arts. She's a theater artist and performer, and we just love her. Today, we will be exploring the Brahma Viharas, an ancient Buddhist teaching and practice. The four Brahma Viharas are equanimity, loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy. They go by many names.
The four heavenly abodes.
The four divine abodes.
The four faces of love.
The four immeasurables.
The four heart practices.
The four boundless states.
The four divine emotions.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now respecting each other's personal space, we invite you to briefly say good morning to a few people, talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, greet any guests, especially the kids, and if you want to say hi to the Zoom people, the camera's over there. So, chit-chat for a couple seconds. I love it when it gets that raucous. So Anna's going to light our chalice this morning. And please join me in reading the words on your screen, hopefully, or in your order of service. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this gathering of beloved community? Come, you longing, thirsty souls. So before we go on, we're really excited that we have some new childcare assistants that we've recently hired. So I'd like to introduce them. Crystal Barnhart. Crystal, will you stand up?
Come
on up. And Sam Keeler. So they're joining our team as staff, and they'll be working with our young people. So welcome. Thank you. And this being the first Sunday of the month, we're going to have Birthday Sunday. So Scott McDonald, who's our pastoral care representative this month. So if you have anything you need, call Scott.
Maybe you can.
Come on up.
No, possible. That little button on the side here.
Oh, Birthday Sunday. Not Jason's.
It's on the side. Yep, that one.
So good morning, and yes, it's the first Sunday of the month, and it's Birthday Sunday. And it's March already. So if you have a birthday in March and you'd like to be recognized, come on up. Or if we missed you last month in February, we'd be happy to give you a belated birthday. You can welcome up here as well. Or if you think your birthday is next month and you won't be here, you're welcome up as well. You can just give us your name, and if you want, your age and your birth date. And if you're online, if you want to either raise your hand and they'll unmute you, or just put your information in chat.
I'm Sarah Clavet, and it might be a sign of my advancing age that I can't remember if we did this last month or not. But I was 78 on February 27th.
I'm Marcia McDonald, and I will be 76, so not quite as old as Sarah. On March 23rd, 2 days after I have my first cataract surgery.
Becky Carlson, I was 59 on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm always the last day of the month, except every 4 years. So.
My name's Anna Rudnitsky, again, and my birthday is similarly on the last day of March. So gotta wait till the 31st, but I'll be 25.
And do we have anyone in the Zoom world?
Nobody on Zoom this week.
All right. Well, Melanie will play Happy Birthday, and we'll sing Happy Birthday to everyone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you much.
A little taller than Beth. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Page. I'm the Director of Religious Education here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Midland. And this morning I will be reading Under the Bodhi Tree, a story of the Buddha by Deborah Hopkinson. In a long time ago and a faraway place, a baby boy was born. His name was Prince Siddhartha. Before his birth, his mother dreamed of a beautiful white elephant. The wise men said it was a sign the baby would be special. And he was, just like babies then and now and everywhere, and just like you. The baby grew to be a kind and gentle child. Once he found a wounded swan and nursed it back to health so it could soar across the sky again. The little prince wanted to spread his wings too, but his father said, "You must stay here away from the world where I can keep you safe from any pain and sorrow." And so Siddhartha grew up behind the garden walls of a rich and splendid palace. He had new fine clothes, a grand white horse, the softest rice to eat. But like children then and now and everywhere, and just like you, he longed to discover the world. At last, when Siddhartha was a young man, his father let him visit the great city. The king ordered the mayor, "Hold a festival in the market with flowers, song, and dance. My son must see the happy sights." But of course, the prince was curious and wandered off to explore. And that is how he first came to see hardship, pain, and suffering. First, he gave a sip of water to a person lying sick with fever. Next, he helped an old man with an aching, crooked back cross the road. Then he bowed his head to share a grieving family's sorrow. Siddhartha's heart felt heavy and his own eyes filled with tears. He could not stop wondering, how can I help others? "You can do so much good as a prince," the king told his troubled son. Siddhartha shook his head. "Even the wisest ruler cannot stop sickness, old age, and death," he said. "I want to find a way to help people live in ease and peace." And so, like seekers then and now and everywhere, the prince set off to find his way, just as you may do someday. At first, Siddhartha looked to others for answers. He journeyed far and long and followed many different paths. But he still felt lost, like a little ship in a stormy sea, tossed by wind and waves. One day, Siddhartha came upon the welcoming shade of a tall, majestic tree. His spirits rose and he thought, "Perhaps the answer is inside me. I will stay in this pleasant grove until I find a way to peace. Then I can teach others too." And so Siddhartha crossed his legs in quiet meditation. Many days passed. Raindrops fell. Cool breezes blew. The sun beat down. And still Siddhartha sat, sheltered by the rustling, heart-shaped leaves of the old and lovely tree. Once, a woman named Sujata passed by and thought, "He looks weak and hungry." She brought him sweetened milk and rice. She smiled and said, "Please accept this gift. If you are hungry, you should eat." Siddhartha tipped back the bowl to taste the delicious treat. The rice and milk was sweet and warm. "Thank you for your kindness," he said. On that clear and brilliant night, waves still rippled the surface of his mind. But now the prince just let his fears and worries come and go, and kept on breathing mindfully, in and out, deep and slow. Soon, even the sighing, heart-shaped leaves grew still, as serene as Siddhartha's mind. And then, just before dawn, he looked up. In the eastern sky, a bright planet appeared, the morning star. At that moment, like the swan so long ago, Siddhartha felt himself soar, aware, free, and fully alive. His worries fell away, and he saw clearly that all things fit together, big and small, hard and easy, joyful and sad, all part of one wondrous world. And that's it. That's the end. Now let's sing our children off to their classes. We hold you in our hearts with love, a love as free as skies
invite you now to center yourselves into a time of quiet reflection, meditation, or prayer as we listen to the interlude, Contemplation, by David and Gary Lance, shared by Melanie.
This is a poem called In the World by Bridget Lowry. In the strange early morning half-light we sit. In the cloudiness of our questioning we sit. In our madness and our clarity we sit. In the midst of too much do we sit. In the warm arms of our shared sorrow we sit. In community and loneliness we sit. In sweet exhaustion do we sit. In the blazing energy of being alive we sit. Here with the singing crickets, here with each electric bird song, here with the rippling breezes and the dry grasses, here with the cobwebs and the clouds, and the dusty road upon us in the sound and the sound in us in the world, and the world in us.
So a few years ago, I learned about the Brahma Viharas, and it kind of turned my world and my practice upside down. And I've been so looking forward to being able to do a service to introduce them to you, because I just find them amazing. The word Brahma means the highest or superior. Vihara means to dwell or abide. As you heard earlier, the Brahma Viharas are known by many names, and I'll use them interchangeably. I first learned them as the 4 heavenly abodes. Although the word heavenly is a bit charged for me, I love the image of abodes, havens that shelter me and provide protection and rest, so that I can emerge into the world with a wise, open heart. I also resonate with the 4 boundless states, the idea of throwing open the doors into limitless possibilities. The divine abodes are meditative states, thoughts, and actions to be strived for. The practice cultivates emotions to live in, keeping us steady as fleeting emotions and thoughts try to sway us. Teacher Anne C. Klein put it this way: with practice of the 4 boundless states, our effort resolves into ease, the self-other divide resolves into wholeness, and ideas resolve into direct experience. The deep ease that practice makes possible furthers our capacity for clarity. What relaxes ultimately is the deeply entrenched sense of being me. Freedom from the reactivity created by pride, ignorance, hatred, desire, and jealousy endows an ease of intimacy with our own feelings as well as those of others. And we can live our own stories even while engaging with theirs. No longer dividing the world into good and bad, love and hate. We not only have more freedom and ease in daily life, we also gain access to the wisdom of our real nature. End quote. The four sublime attitudes or heart practices are equanimity, loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy. We'll spend most of our time today with equanimity, since equanimity grounds us and provides a container and context for the three other immeasurables. So I have studied and tried to practice equanimity for over 30 years, and I really still can't tell you what it is. But I'll try. Abiding in equanimity is being able to accept people, things, emotions, and situations as they are, without the push and pull of avoidance and grasping. It manifests in knowing that all beings have basic goodness, no matter what actions they take, good or bad, which really aligns with our first principle of the inherent worth and dignity of all beings. It's seeing things as they are and being willing to be with that truth. It doesn't mean we throw up our hands at cruelty and harm. Accepting that this is the situation, we can take action from a place of wisdom to alleviate the suffering of ourselves and others. Anna will share some words from teacher Christina Feldman.
The Pali or Sanskrit word for equanimity finds a number of different translations that endeavor to capture its meaning. To look over, to be a guardian of, to see with patience, and as standing in the middle of life with a boundless poise and balance. Some refer to equanimity as a spacious stillness of the heart. Equanimity does not leave loving kindness, joy, or compassion behind, but is imbued with these qualities which rescue it from indifference or coldness. Equanimity is not a state, but describes a relational way of being with life that rests upon a profound understanding of the intrinsic nature of change, unpredictability, and non-self that is at the heart of all events and experience. In the midst of all this, the heart can abide, fully liberated from the greed, hatred, and delusion that create suffering and despair. We already stand in the midst of this life. There is no other place we can stand. We can imagine ourselves at the center of a mandala, surrounded by those we love, those we struggle with, and the countless beings we do not know. We can visualize ourselves surrounded by the 10,000 joys and sorrows that touch every human life. Equanimity is not a future state or attainment, but a way of engaging with all that this present moment is revealing. Sowing the seeds of equanimity, rooted in a deep understanding of the nature of life, we are a participant in shaping our present moment heart, which is the mother of the next moment. So, widening the field of our attention and concern, we sense all of those around us, those known and unknown, who also stand in the center of their own mandala, at times intersecting with our own, and at other times never to be known to us. We share the human longing to be free from pain and sorrow, even as we know that our lives will continue to be touched by pain and sorrow. Our human mandalas intersect in our longing to be happy and safe, even as we know this cannot always be so. Our worlds intersect in our longing to protect those we love from distress and loss, even as we know that is beyond our power. Equanimity knows the great capacity to embrace this paradox. We look at the world around us with all its conflicts, cruelty, and human suffering, the tangled knots of hurt. We know we cannot fix it all. We understand the pressing need to bring as much kindness and compassion to the tangles we find ourselves in as possible. We learn that our insistence that life, other people, and ourselves be other than they are has the immediate effect of intensifying the tangle. We can begin to discover an inner stillness and poise in the midst of chaos. This is the gift of equanimity.
So for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to invite you to do something that might feel challenging for some of you, but we're going to do a meditation on the practice of equanimity. So if you would, sit comfortably in your chair with your spine upright but relaxed, and your feet on the floor. Your eyes can be open or closed, and connect with your body and breath. See if you can find a place in your body in which you feel grounded. It might be the air coming in and out through your nose. It might be the rise and fall of your abdomen. It might be your feet on the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. And let this place of breath be an anchor. If your mind wanders, it's so totally okay. If you need to adjust your body, it's okay. It's all okay. Now, in your imagination and feelings, with a mindful awareness, I'm going to invite you to call up 3 people. On your left, invite in a close person or pet, someone with whom it is easy to give and receive love and care. It could be a visualization, could be just a feeling. Just invite them in. Ask them to sit next to you. Across from you, invite in a difficult person in your life. I do invite you to reach someone with whom you have just some difficulty. Don't tick yourself all the way out to, Invite this person in. Ask them to sit down. And just feel their presence or see them in your imagination. And it's okay if negative feelings arise. Just be with whatever you're feeling at the moment. And on your right, invite in a neutral person, someone for whom you don't have strong feelings, like the checkout person at Kroger, or the person in the car next to you that waved at you yesterday. Ask them to sit down. See if you can sense their presence. Now, with your close person seated to your left, the person who you really just love, send out wishes for their happiness, ease, peace, that they avoid pain and suffering. You can use silent phrases if you want, starting with, may you be at ease, may you be happy, may you be healthy, whatever comes to mind. Just bask in the warmth of sending and receiving. Now, with your difficult person seated directly across you, turn your attention to them and first notice any uncomfortable or uneasy feelings that might arise. They probably will. Open yourself to that reaction. It's not bad, it's not wrong, it's just what is. Now, through all your feeling, whatever you're feeling now, imagine that this person is worthy of happiness, freedom from suffering and its causes. Once again, if you want to silently say, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe and protected, may you be free from suffering. Whatever phrases come to you, or just a feeling of wishing them well. Just stay with those wishes for them and continue to notice your reaction and feelings. And notice if they shift, or if they don't, that's cool too. Now with your third person, the person that you just barely know or don't have strong feelings about. Explore what is the quality of your relationship. This one can be really tricky. I find it really tricky. And then see if you can shift neutrality into equanimity. Imagine them, just use your imagination to imagine them in their life. And remember that we all want the same thing, to be happy and free from suffering. Send them out well wishes. And once again, notice if your feelings shift towards this person or not. Now, widen your experience with these people to include all three of them and yourself. Take in the quality of each person. Notice any shifts in relationship that might happen. See if you feel more open. Is there more spaciousness? Just sit with the warmth that you've generated for the person you care deeply about, for the person who pushes all your buttons, and for the person who bags your groceries. Feel those intersecting mandalas. Each person in their own mandala. And how does it intersect with you? And know that you can call this up anytime you want. And when you're ready, come gently back into the room. Thanks for doing that. Now I want to talk about loving kindness, the second Brahmavihara. Our ability to love is innate. It's the very nature of who we are. It's our Buddha nature, the divine in us, our connection to the great mystery, however you want to say it. We all wish to be happy and free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and we wish the same for our loved ones. Vanessa Zuisi Goddard says, one way to think of loving kindness is as the absence of fear. The fear that whatever it is I'm holding on to, my life, my wealth, my happiness, my health, will go away. And that fear, that was an end quote, that fear can close us off to love and kindness. So the practice of loving kindness helps us extend the wish for peace, safety, and happiness beyond ourselves and our beloveds to those with whom we have difficulty or even feel hatred toward, and to those for whom our feelings are neutral, and ultimately to all beings It's the simplest practice, seems to me. And I'll bring Anna up to talk about compassion.
Practicing compassion can be challenging. Loving kindness has opened up our hearts and let the love pour out. Practicing compassion asks us to touch suffering, ours and others. Having been steadied by equanimity and loving kindness, compassion allows us to break open without breaking down. It allows us to bear witness in a way that softens and opens us up without being swept away by despair. The sense of interconnection that comes from practicing compassion, experiencing that we all have sorrows and suffering, big and small, this opens us up to wise action. Thanissaro Bhikkhu says, "Compassion is what goodwill feels like when it encounters suffering. It wants the suffering to stop."
And the last Brahmavihara is sympathetic joy. So we all know what joy is. We also know, in theory at least, that joy is available at any moment, even in the midst of suffering. Birdsong on the first open window morning of early summer. A child's laugh, or pink cake smashed into a 1-year-old's face. That was yesterday. Daffodils. Sympathetic joy, joy in others' happiness, is an antidote to cynicism, jealousy, envy, covetousness, greed, feelings of inadequacy. By actively cultivating joy for others, we generate joy in ourselves. The practice helps us to rejoice in the happiness around us, to see the goodness in others. Roshi Pat Enkyo says, "No matter how small or large our effort may be, the activity of giving and receiving in relationship generates a field of joy when it is not encumbered by our grasping for ego gratification. But actually, there is a deeper, more resonant, soulful feeling. The joy of life, no matter what the circumstances." So even if we struggle mightily with someone, we can be happy for even the tiniest bit of joy in their life. If we can be happy, then we get to expand outside of ourselves and connect with a more spacious, boundless way of being. And all of this speaks to our 7th principle, the interdependent web of life. So we're going to close with a much briefer meditation. So once again, center yourself. Connect with your breath. And this is a meditation I made up for myself when I've learned about the 4 heavenly abodes. So as you follow your breath, I'll drop in 4 phrases for you to just sit with, silently repeat to yourself, let them resonate, whatever works for you. May I abide in equanimity. May I abide in loving kindness. May I abide in compassion. May I abide in sympathetic joy. Blessed be and may it be so. So please rise in body or spirit to sing Filled with Loving Kindness, page 1031 in the Teal Hymnal. This is a traditional Buddhist meditation adapted by Mark W. Hayes with music by Ian Riddle and led by Melanie.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May I be filled. Excuse me, it's you this time, forgive me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful
So now, in accordance with our values and the stirrings of our hearts, we invite you to support this fellowship's mission with your donations. The ushers will pass the plates among you. And as always, if you wish to pay towards your pledge, there are envelopes in the back. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you. Today's offertory music is an excerpt from A Distant Light by David Gans and Gary Strozo, played by Melanie Willison. So we now invite you to rise in body or in spirit again and join in singing hymn number 184, Be Ye Lamps Unto Yourselves. The words are attributed to the Buddha. The melody is by Saram Antiphonal. It's in the Gray Hymnals, page 184.
And as it's unfamiliar, I will play it through once. It's very short, and then we'll sing it twice. Louder. Be lamps unto yourselves, be your own confidence. Hold on the truth within yourselves as to the only lamp. Be unto yourselves, be your own confidence. Hold to the truth within yourselves as to the only lamp.
Wow, thank you to everyone who helped to make this service possible. I needed a lot of help. I got it. And special thanks to Anna. It's such a joy to have you with us. And thank you everybody for coming. After our postlude, Meditation from Thai by Jules Massenet, I will share some of the many opportunities to make connections within our fellowship. We then invite those here in person to have some snacks and coffee and further conversation. And if you care to, maybe reflect on what you took away from today and share that with your friends. And then we will continue the conversation with the Zoom participants up in the library. The Zoom room will close at noon. And thanks again. It was really wonderful to be up here today. So now I invite you to read with me May You Be Changed by Emily Richards. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. So before I give you any announcements, I just wanted to point out that the inserts in your order of service are 4 suggested meditations that follow in the same vein as the one we did this morning. So if you'd like to take those with you and practice, that's great. If not, you can leave them behind. So as we disperse, I want to share some of the many opportunities to help you connect with others in our fellowship. If you think you've found a spiritual home here and are ready to consider becoming a member, or if you are already a member and want to know more, attend our UUFOM and U workshop on March 10. And so sign up if you'd like to attend so we know. On March 24th, the Endowment Fund Committee is going to be hosting a free soup luncheon after service. And so also sign up for that, please, so we know that we have enough soup. And on March 24th also, in the afternoon, we will be hosting the next Midland Area Interfaith Friends potluck meeting. So we'll need help setting up tables and organizing food and cleaning up. Sign up or let Maxine know if you're able to help. Those are really great gatherings. And signups are located in the events alcove, or let Wendy know if you'd like to attend, and there's often links in the newsletter too. All of our announcements can be viewed before the service in the sanctuary. And for other ways to connect, please read your e-news. Please read your e-news. Join our Facebook news group or visit uufom.org. Thank you again so much. It was such a pleasure. Have a good week.